In today's video, we're going to share with you the 5 essentials you'll need for successful remote work. But before we get into things, double check that you're subscribed to SupportNinja for all the latest lessons on taking your business to the next level. All of that being said, let's get started. Remote work used to be the dream of a lot of people, but even with all of its perks, working from home comes with its own unique set of challenges. Between screaming kids and pets that want to sit in your lap or walk across your desk, finding undistracted time can be a bit challenging. Luckily, there are a handful of simple techniques that you can start using today that'll improve your productivity over the long haul. And look, here's the deal. As of 2021, remote work is nothing new to a lot of us. For plenty, this is just the new way we do things. The point, though, is to recognize ways to ensure you're really getting the most out of your newfound workspace. So with all of that in mind, let's take a look at our 5 essentials. Our brains are really good at associating people, objects, and our environment with specific activities. That means we can subtly be cued to perform certain behaviors over others based on where we are. For example, if you use the same computer you work on to play games, you've already formed an association with that particular part of the room, the desk, and the computer with playing games. So when you're stressed out by a work project, your brain will remind you that you can avoid all of those negative feelings by opening up a game and flooding your brain with dopamine versus an alternative like taking a walk. Now, maybe you're lucky enough to have a room that you can dedicate solely as an office space. If you can, great. Just make sure to try to limit the use of that room to work-related activities only. And hey, if you don't have a whole extra room to turn into a workspace, don't worry. You can still apply the same logic to a section of your home. You can do this by using a physical object in your environment to remind yourself and others that you're in work mode. It can be something as simple as putting on headphones, or if you want to get a little bit more tangible, putting up something that'll physically block your workspace from the rest of your home. Okay, now if you don't have a dedicated workspace or even a dedicated work computer, then you should at the very least create a different user account on your computer or have a separate user account in your browser. The idea here is to change the visual cues like your browser theme, wallpaper, and bookmarks, which all serve as visual cues to put you in the right state of mind for your work. Just like the visual cues in our environment, the clothes we wear often affect our emotional state. If you've ever worn pajamas for an entire day, you might have noticed it's easier to procrastinate and binge watch a Netflix series rather than get those TPS reports filed. Putting on outside clothes has always been a vital part of the morning routine for anyone who's ever gone into an office. So by keeping that, you're helping your brain transition back to your previous office-going self. Now, even if you've never went into an office in the first place for your job, dressing up can still play a huge part in keeping your mind on track. And to take things a step further, try changing out of your work clothes at the end of each day. It'll signal to your brain that the workday is done, and you can further develop an environment of work versus an environment of home. When you're working in any online software, whether it be a project management system, CRM, or even help desk, you've likely logged in and felt overwhelmed by everything you had to do. To avoid procrastination invoking anxiety, you should train your brain to focus on just a few main tasks each day. Doing this allows you to be guilt-free after work and avoid burnout by maintaining healthy stress levels. One of the best ways to avoid being overwhelmed is to create intentions. In one study, students who created implementation intentions had a 40% higher attendance rate and a 7.73 greater chance of getting to appointments on time. One of the easiest ways of creating intentions is to write them down and then cross off each item as you complete it. There's a wide range of variations of this, like the JOT method or the intentional to-do list, but at the end of the day, it's effectively just a daily list of items you're committing to do, come rain or come shine. If you need a little help with this, there are great structured planners like the Evo Planner or even some great Mac apps like Serene or Slash. Researchers from the Harvard Business School once performed a study on 46 employees of a company. They found that those who actively scheduled their time in their calendar to work on specific projects were 14% more efficient in their time, 9% less overwhelmed by their workload, and 12% more likely to accomplish critical tasks by their deadlines. Most people tend to prioritize urgent tasks over the important ones, which is no wonder due to the increasing number of interruptions from calls, emails, or Slack notifications. This can lead to what's known as time poverty, which happens when you don't have enough time to complete all the tasks on your plate. Now, a great way to combat this is to add events to your calendar to work on a specific task or project during that time. This will help balance out what's been referred to as maker versus manager mindsets and allow you to live a more balanced life. Alright, even if you have the perfect environment to work from at home, there's still going to be some challenges in the area of self-accountability. That's most likely because at home, you have less social accountability than you probably were familiar with at an office. Luckily, there are a handful of tools you can use to minimize distractions and keep yourself on task. One of those tools is FocusMate, which provides you with a virtual buddy that you can work with for a 50-minute session. It might be a little daunting at first, but for those who really need a little social accountability, it can work miracles to reduce procrastination. Another common type of tool are those that will help block or limit your access to distracting websites or apps. An example of this would be something like Freedom.2, which can even work on phones or tablets and allows you to create scheduled time where you block off distraction websites during certain hours. Some other tools include things like Time Doctor, a time tracking and productivity tool, or a Google Chrome extension called Intentions that asks you to commit an allotted time you're allowing yourself to spend on distracting websites. Alright, and there you go. 5 essentials to take your remote work to the next level. Now, if you want to take things even a step further, we actually have an entire webinar series on remote work. We'll put the links to those in the description so you can check out each episode from the masters of remote work. And with all that said, we've come to the end of today's lesson. If you learned something new, why not give this video a like? And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for all the latest updates. I'm Jack from SupportNinja. Thanks for watching.